Welcome to Connecticut Newsmakers with Tom Monahan, your weekly look at the people, issues, and events shaping our state. Connecticut Newsmakers starts now on NBC Connecticut HD, Connecticut's news leader.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Connecticut Newsmakers. Just about a year ago is when the stimulus package got underway. Came out of the federal government, of course, and spread all over the United States and points beyond. And I want to talk about that and the impact it's had on some of the businesses in the area, one in particular. With our first guest on the program on our show today, it's Abul Islam, who is president and the founder of AI Engineers. Abul, thanks so much for being with us on our program.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Tom.
Awfully nice to have you here on our show. Let's back up a little bit. Your company is in Middletown right now. You are moving into Hartford. And you'll be down at the old broadcast center where the former WFSB Channel 3 studios had been. First of all, you know, how's that project coming along?
Well, that's coming along good. If you could see that the building is all demolished right now, and we're doing the last of the cleanup there, and hopefully we should be out of there in the next 2 weeks, and preparing ourselves for the tech center, which is going to be the state-of-the-art LEED platinum building that we plan to build, and which will also be our headquarters. We plan to move when that building is all completed, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art green, sustainable building that we plan to design with a lot of features that has not been done in Connecticut for commercial commercial leased space, particularly in the downtown area.
Well, you have other offices around the country. Now, what precisely do you do? What does the company do?
Our business is consulting engineering, and our typical clients are the Department of Transportation. We do a lot of bridge inspection and evaluation work, and we do construction engineering inspection of bridge and highway projects too. And we have our Middletown office is the headquarters, with 4 satellite offices in Virginia, in Massachusetts, in New York City, and Rhode Island.
Your impressions of the stimulus package, what are your thoughts?
I think it has worked. I mean, we are coming off, we still are in a terrible economic downturn, and in the construction industry alone, there is the highest unemployment is there nationally. It's about 24.7% right now from the latest statistics. Had there not been a stimulus package nationally, and we'll talk about my company in a minute, we would have far worse situation than what we have currently right now. So those are just the statistics. There is not enough private work going on, and it's a total slump, and that's the stimulus money on infrastructure projects that has helped contain that unemployment. It could have been far worse.
That does, I believe, about at least at this point, only about 5%, however, of your business. Is that correct?
My business is, of course, the stimulus project that I have is the DOT project in Brantford, which is replacing the railroad bridge carrying Amtrak in Brantford over Route 1. That project is sizable and has been sitting there for 3 years without because of the shortfall of funding. And when the stimulus money came in, that project was one of the first projects in Connecticut that was a go. We have a general contractor, and his subcontractor. We are working there as engineering consultant to the DOT, and for 5 years that job will create on an average 100 jobs, not just for us as engineering consultant, but also for general contractors, subcontractors, fabricators, concrete suppliers. These are the indirect suppliers that you don't see in a construction site. You probably see a crane or with hard hat and vest, but then there's a lot of indirect work that is created as a result of the need of structural steel, concrete, rebar, asphalt, you name it. So for a project of this size, which is the total project cost is 70 million, the construction cost is somewhere between $45 to $50 million. It's a great bonus in these days when there is not much going on to have a job like that.
Yeah, and you talk about the widespread impact it does have. I mean, you're able to bring in other companies, of course, the subcontractors who will do a lot of the work also. And so it's a far-reaching thing when you're talking about jobs. How many more jobs did you say you have? Maybe another 150 people there on the job that you would not have had before?
No, it's not our people. We are the engineering consultants, so we have we have an average of 8 to 10 people in the job, but the total project, including the contractors' personnel, would be about 100, on average for the entire duration of the project. Of course, it goes through spikes based on the need of the construction activity. So, we have other jobs coming up. Paving is
stimulus jobs.
Stimulus jobs coming up, and in Connecticut, a lot of companies, municipalities are going to benefit from that one. Keep the industry working, this is just basic. We need infrastructure too. We need to invest major effort and dollars in our crumbling infrastructure. And as a fellow of the American Society of Civil Engineers and as a professional engineer, it is being talked about from here to all capital of the state capital, as well as in Washington, D.C., that how important and critical it is for us to put a lot of resources and attention and vision in rehabilitating our infrastructure, our bridges, our highways, our railroads, light rail, other transit-oriented projects, and create the infrastructure that will sustain the jobs and the future knowledge economy that we are all hoping to happen in the Hartford area. And the Hartford region, I-91 corridor.
So can you tell us what some of those future jobs, stimulus jobs, may be, projects?
The stimulus projects would be creating the infrastructure that is necessary for creating a knowledge economy, meaning that more firms will come with degreed individuals, college graduates who will look forward to jobs in our suburbs, in the greater Hartford region, in Hartford, and that's why my emphasis and interest has been in Hartford, because I do see, despite all the doom and gloom news, that it can become vastly different if we have a vision, shared vision by our business leaders, owners, small, medium-sized, all businesses banding together. And if there is political will to invest in infrastructure, the knowledge economy can happen. The universities, we have 42 schools in Connecticut. There are 180,000 students in our Connecticut schools, some of the top schools, from Yale to Wesleyan, Trinity, RPI, University of Hartford, Capital Community College. I'm working quite a bit with the Hartford school system, with mentoring some of the kids in engineering and science, personally, that I do. And a lot of businessmen are directly going into the school system and hoping that the knowledge economy happens in a couple of years in Connecticut. But transportation infrastructure and investing in multimodal infrastructure, connecting Bradley Airport, having more pedestrian-oriented, modes, light rail, bus transit. New Britain busways a go now, after all the talk that we had before. So there is a federal effort underway that they are giving you seed money to start these light rail projects. A couple of years ago, there was no commitment on the part of the federal government. So now our business leaders, our public policy leaders, our political leaders must all get together and connect all the dots, including the educational institution. We have a vibrant, educational system in Connecticut, that can really usher in the knowledge economy.
Abul, I want to thank you so much for coming in and being with us on our program, talking about this specific project. You have other things coming up down the road, of course, and particularly good luck with the new building in downtown Hartford. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for your time.
Nice to have you. Abul Islam, president and founder of AI Engineers. Back with part 2 of our program in just a moment.